Hey guys, it's Troy here. Welcome to Pen Mail Day, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let me show you what I've gotten here just over the past several days in pen mail, and they're not even all in front of you. So I've had several different packages, several different places I've purchased from, and I wanted to share those with you. I'll start with probably one of the coolest ones first, and to me I like vintage pens. This one was a lever filler I picked up off from Etsy, from Midnight Pens, selling on Etsy, and it's from the Moore Fountain Pen Company. There's a pretty good imprint still on that. This is from like the 1930s, 1940s, and this company's out of Boston, Massachusetts. It even says that right there. I spent a good amount of time in Boston in my youth. So this is a nice little gold nib on this particular pen, and see, it is inked up. I hath inked mine self. But a nice little vintage filler. Now, they were a third-tier manufacturer. They were not known for the top quality, but they have a decent little pen in this, and there is no model name on it. So, did a little bit of research on the Moore Pen Company, and you can also look at Richard's Pens and look at his Glossopedia, and you can find out more info on that. All right, so that's one. Let's see. Also, from, I believe, on Etsy, I picked up this. This is an Arnold. Arnold was a Virginia-based third-tier manufacturer out of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And this was a new old stock. This is probably like the third one I've picked up from the same company, to be honest with you. And guess what? $5. $5 for an old Arnold. Now, it looks like it's got a good amount of patina, and this has been sitting around quite a while. But when you open it up and you look at the nib, you can tell that has not been used. It is new old stock. The sack is still pliable on it. It has never been inked. So I figured, you know, I've got some Arnold pens. I've probably got half a dozen Arnolds laying around. They weren't bad for the money. They weren't awesome, but quite honestly, one of their button fillers to me is every bit as good as a dual fold that I've got. So anyway, that came, and I also picked up some vintage new old stock nibs. Some of them have, it says, or sold to me as being iridium tipped. And looking at these, I think I paid $5 for the Arnold, $1.99 each bag of these old nibs. Let's see, stainless steel gold plated, and the other is a set of 5 Regal fountain pen tips, new old stock. So some iridium tipped and some other ones. So, you know, all total $9 worth of stuff there. All right, so let's see, I've shared with you that. Let me share with you a really bad experience. If you're going to sell stuff on eBay and you really don't know anything about pens, number one, take as many good pictures as you can, and also be as honest as you possibly can with your listings. I bought a set of 3 pens from this one particular company, all of which you know, came together as a set, and I thought just a little overpriced considering what I got. One of them said, well, possibly a little bit of damage to the end of the pen. Okay, well, that doesn't tell me much, but when I get it, that doesn't sound good for a Waterman. Oh, come on. I open it up, and this is what I see. Look at that. Broken right off. Right there. And the pictures really didn't help on their listing. So, you know, this was broken off from it. So I got a good barrel, a good cap. That section is just flat out broken off, so I may be able to salvage something maybe with that nib and feed. But as it is, totally useless. Let's look at the next one. You open it up and you go, all right, hey, that looks to be pretty decent shape. It looks like possibly a hemisphere, right? And then you open it up and you go, oh man, look at that nib. There was no mention or picture really of that bent nib like that. You gotta be kidding me. Really? Totally useless. The only good thing is, you know, I've got a blue hemisphere. My son has a silver hemisphere. In case either one of us would prefer it to be in green, well, at least now we got a cap and a barrel if we want to swap it out. The one good pen out of the 3, you know, I figured at least if one of them had possible damage, then okay, fine, I may be able to get at least 2 good out of 3 pens and may be able to use some parts. If it was damaged irreparably, which obviously that first pen was, open it up. Oh, look, a Filius. And I already knew it was not a Filius fountain. It was a Filius rollerball. And look, Traveler's Insurance logo right there on that cap. So this was meant to be a rollerball or a ballpoint. Now, I don't have a Filius rollerball or ballpoint until this one. And quite honestly, I know he's probably not watching my videos, so my youngest son, Benjamin, is into ballpoints for some reason. So I figured, yeah, that might not be a bad thing to pick up. And quite honestly, this was the rollerball cartridge that came with it. And this rollerball is about exhausted on its ink. It doesn't really write. So I ordered some more of these. So I've got a half a dozen of these showing up here in the mail within the next couple of days. All right, I'm going to show you something here that I kind of indulged a little bit here. There is a service in an app you may have seen advertised during the recent Super Bowl for Temu. You know, shop like a billionaire or something, whatever their catchphrase was. So I picked up all of this here, and they are a Chinese company. And, you know, if you go to like wish.com and you shop there, and I've done this before. I went to Wish, I just picked up a bunch of stuff, searched for fountain pens to see what I could come up with. And this is what I came up with when I searched their site. So I figured, why not? Let's give it a try. And let's just give it a trial run to see what I can get. And I was looking and aiming at pens for giveaway. That was my primary thought process, was for giveaway stuff. And this is about $29 worth of stuff, including shipping. So here's what I've got. I ordered 6 of these, which are similar to a Jinhao 599, more looking like a Lamy with that that clip on it. But okay, why not? Sort of like a Lamy Vista. Yes, it's a knockoff. Yes, they're fine nibs, and yes, they look like Lamy nibs on them. But I will be taking these, and some of them say extra fine on the nib. They also they do say EF, because I did not order these in an extra fine. But whatever, I picked these up really dirt cheap, 79 cents a piece. So I figured for 79 cents, kind of hard to argue. Had this little A6 size notebook with blank paper. A6 is not my preferred size, but maybe it would be fountain pen friendly, and I always have need for something to jot down notes for work here at my desk. And this particular thing I paid $2.48 for, so I figured I'd give it a shot. A leather pen sleeve, $1.08. Okay, cool. These little things, believe it or not, these are pens. So these 3 came in one package. It's, you know, basically cheap plastic, but you know, little sniper rifle looking things. But you know what they are? They are actually gel pens. So it's a gel writer, and they got that little cap with a gel tip there, and they snap into place, and it's got a little light that comes on it. So I thought that was kind of neat. I figured for a cheap toy, why not? I'd go ahead and pick that up. My kids might enjoy some of that, maybe some stocking stuffers for them or anybody else. And I paid $3.48 for those. An ink sample, and this is invisible ink. So think Noodler's Ghost, if you would. And I figured, all right, I'll give it a shot. Let's just see what it is. The invisible ink. But what really intrigued me is it actually came with a blue light. So you can actually, you know, when you use it, it came with its own light. So when you write with it, you want to do the invisible ink thing. And the other side of it is a regular old flashlight. Okay, cool. Free cheap keychain flashlight with a blue light, so you can see it. Why not? All right, you know, it was like $2.68 for that ink sample. Okay, not the greatest price thing, but considering it came with its own light, why not? So I went ahead and also looked For you guys who have been into the Jinhao X159, yeah, I picked one up. Let's look at some of the bubble wrap stuff on it. All these things, actually, these pens came individually wrapped in their own cellophane. So, but a Jinhao X159, I got it in the silver trim with black, and you know there were different prices for different colors. So I just picked this one, $5.48. Actually, it says dark blue and silver, so that makes sense. Yeah, under that light, you can see that dark blue. I already had one in black, I do believe, but this one, $5.48. Not a bad price on a Jinhao X159. Monteverde tool pen, have you seen those? I've got one. My wife bought me one some time ago. A little bit different, same kind of idea, but this is a ballpoint, the ballpoint version. It's got the clip on it. It's got the different rulers on it. It has a level built into it, and you can see it's a ballpoint. There you go. That way, eraser, you pull it off, and you do have a screwdriver. And it's got both a Phillips and a straight. You can pull that out and flip it around and you get a straight or a blade. Two more pens that I got from them. A Jinhao 65 is what this is. Jinhao 65 was $1.98. Let's see. Oh, by the way, that tool pen was like $2.98. And then this one, silver and gray pen is all it says, and it's like $2.68 for this. Maybe a little overpriced for what it is, I don't know, but I figured I'd give that a try just to see how she does. All right, almost done with pen mail. Now, here's some advice to everybody who is a collector. My advice to you is you may want to make friends with and get to know somebody who is a pen dealer. Every so often they'll get somebody's old collection and they will liquidate those at a bargain basement price. I've told you something about Greg's rummage sale that I have from time to time, or that I get to take advantage of from time to time. Greg Sheeks at Antique Digger. By the way, I'll put in the plug, 10% off all your purchases at antiquedigger.com. Use discount code TROY, T-R-O-Y. But these were ones that he was not going to put on his website, because quite honestly, Greg puts upper end, medium to upper end pens that are probably going to sell well for collectors. These are ones that some collectors may not be of interest to them, but they would be to me. And especially because I've got kids who are kind of taking an interest in fountain pens. So I went ahead and picked up these. I shared a picture of these that Greg had given me of them previously. And I'll give you a little bit of what these are. I actually have pretty much all of these already in my collection. All right. So it's not like I need these, but he gave me a good deal on these, quite honestly, for all of them that are in my hand, a better price than I would pay for one of these pens in particular, like this one right here. That right there, all these pens put together cost less than if I was to buy this one. A Le Mans 200, it's got a good little gold, green marbling going on. So I've already got a Le Mans 200, and this one has a really big old, like double broad, or maybe even triple broad nib. I don't know. That's a big old stubby broad nib there. So I'm looking forward to cleaning that up and trying it out. Parker Sonnet. Now, I bought a Parker Sonnet some time ago, and it turned out to be a Chinese knockoff, unfortunately. So I do have a Parker Sonnet, and this came from, obviously, the same individual, John M. Nelson, as some of these others. I don't think that was monogram, but it was at least one other pen I thought he had his monogram on it. Parker Flighter, 45. I've got a Parker 45 Flighter, actually two of them, and this is a third one into my collection. Parker 45 is a good workhorse of a pen. Let's see, another Parker 45. This one has a gold nib on it, if I am not mistaken. So Parker 45, a decent pen. These just need to be cleaned up. Here's another one. This one is a Cross Solo. I actually have a Cross Solo here in my collection already. It's not like I wanted another one, but I figured, hey, collectively, why not? Because I've got these now for giveaway or to help build up my son's collection. And there you go. That's where we had some more CF Neely on this one here. This one here is another Waterman. And it doesn't seem, I don't know what model in particular this is, because the model I was told that it was, I've got several of that model and that's not what it looks like. And Waterman Expert in Expert 1. So they're up to Expert 3 right now. And here's how I know they're Expert 1. Number one, they're both plastic uppers and lowers, and they got that nice, cool angular nib, which I really enjoyed. I've got an Expert 1, and that angle on that nib, very nice. I won't say it's unique, but it is different for Waterman. And it was a great writing pen. So I've got 2 more to add to my collection there for Waterman Expert 1s. So that's my pen mail. You know, a whole lot of pens sitting here on my desk. Some good, some bad and totally ugly. But hey, all total, I'm going to have an awful lot of giveaway and some cleanup and a whole lot of fun playing with them.